There's a cake under here. It was too big, so we had to put a basket on top of it. But before I open it, I wanted to say like why I picked this cake design. I really wanted to do a realistic 3-dimensional cake, and not just one cake, but a few different cakes that required a bunch of different kind of skills to make. This has 3 cakes to it. So I wanted to do fast food because something about like food cakes, that's cakes. Like I just thought it'd be really cool. But there's so many details. When you look at the burger, you can see all the poppy seeds on top. But look at the bun. Like the bun is two-toned. They've either airbrushed it or used color dust on it, so it looks like kind of a baked bun. It's not just one color fondant. And you can see all the different texture in the burger patty. You can see the ruffles of the lettuce, and the cheese looks kind of melted. Even in the Coke that you have here, there's crushed ice on top. And the French fries look crispy, like they are baked French fries, but also things that can go wrong. This Coke is a very like skinny, tall cake. That can tip over, that can slump down. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with it. And just the burger, I think that because you can see the different sections, it's not straight up and down. It kind of dips in and out with the burger texture. Is it gonna be sliding because the way they stacked it? I've got so many questions and I'm so curious. This cake is by Amaretto Cakes and they did such a fantastic job. So I'm looking for all those things to come through with the cakes that we ordered. Now we ordered one from an at-home baker and one from a professional baker. They were a bit of a different price point. I think they were like $80 difference, about $100 difference. I'll figure out the price in a second. But I'm so curious to see what the difference in the quality of work is and if there will be a difference at all with the different price points. Okay, can we please open this up now? This has been sitting here this whole time taunting me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my God. Kevin?
Okay, so
Kevin?
it did not look like this.
Hold on, I need to turn table so I can see. Oh my God, Kevin! Oh, wow. Okay, this one was the at-home baker. How much was this one?
$365.
$365 for the 3 cakes. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of things that are good about this. Let's just establish like the elephant in the room here, which is this sliding mess, which did I not just say one of the things with the burger that could go wrong, depending on how they stack it, because it's not straight up and down, it could slide apart. This one slid apart and it's like oozing.
Real appetizing.
Yeah, she's moist.
Scrumptious.
I don't know.
Are you allowed to say that?
Moist? A lot of people like get very offended by that word. I don't know what to say. Obviously, like, okay, so I can see the way they stack this up. They didn't structure it. I think if this were me, the height of this, I would have tiered it. I'm curious when I cut into it, I'll cut straight through that at the end and see if there's any structure in that, but there should be.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they said that there was a dowel in the middle, but they also told me when I picked it up that we should leave it in the fridge until right before we're ready to serve. And I picked it up yesterday. Would that have been caused because I didn't put it in the fridge?
I don't think so. To me, no, because they all have the same filling and this cake is perfectly fine. So if it was a filling issue, this would be oozing too, and it's not. So to me, it's the way that they structured and did the cake. You can see that they did, like this is, oh, it's fondant. I was gonna say it's buttercream, but no, it's fondant. Interesting. There's obviously a lot of wetness that was in the filling. It's a strawberry shortcake filling. What is all the liquid from? Like that's a lot, and it could be from that mess, but from my experience, you never put fondant cakes in the fridge ever because they get condensation on them when you take them out of the fridge and they melt and get a big mess. If the other cake is perfectly fine, which they didn't tell us to put in the fridge, and this one's a mess, then maybe that's our fault. Now for the other things. This is really cool. It really sucks that the burger's a mess, but if we can envision it not being a mess, I love that they got the poppy seeds on top of the bun. I love that they got the different color variations in the bun, and you can actually see color variations on the burger patty, and they did it in like a way that makes sense. Like it's more burnt on top of the burger where it would be hitting the grill. And I mean, I can see by the little pieces of lettuce here over here, like look at the texture in that lettuce. That's really cool. The fries look really cool. I love that they're like kind of scattered around. What I don't like is I can tell they used just ivory fondant and then kind of like airbrushed it, but didn't get all edges. So when I see like the back edge of the fry, you can just see the ivory fondant. And I can see how they stacked it together because you can see the buttercream squirting out underneath. So there is like a little bit of sloppy work there where they assembled it. Not bad. Honestly, the fries look fantastic, look really impressive, but if I'm gonna be critical, that's where I would mention it. The logo looks pretty good. The fondant's a little bubbly and textured, but I think that looks really good. I'm impressed with the drink for the most part, and then now I'm kind of looking at it. I think the portions of the drink are a little bit off with the width. The glass on top, that looks like isomalt, and like hands up, I'm impressed. They're little glass shards. I would have preferred cubes because you don't really get shards of glass. Maybe it's crushed glass, or not glass, crushed ice, I should say. This is me just like nitpicking because it actually is a cool cake other than the fact that it's slid, which could be the fridge or not the fridge. But the color of the fondant on top, I would have put a gel paste on top so it was shiny. Here with the fries, they like hand cut out the M and put that on, and that looks good. Here they could have done the same thing with a little square, the little red square. Instead they wrapped it in a full sheet of edible paper, making a seam here and a seam here, and the edible paper is all bulging here. It's peeling off of here, and I just think that that was kind of like a misstep. Like, why put the whole edible image on when you could have just done the little square and have it look flawless? So I feel like there's a lot of pros and cons. The straw is standing up perfectly straight, so that's impressive. It's a shame that this is like a puddle of a mess because I can envision like how good it would have looked when you first picked it up. So I'm curious how they constructed this whole cake, like both of these, and if this is cake in here, which I think is. When I cut it, I'm gonna be able to see how they assembled and what structure's in there. So I'm excited to taste these at the end of the video, see how they taste now, as well as hopefully it doesn't like poison me because that looks questionable. But we'll just see like how they put it all together. Okay, you take this one off and get the next one ready. In the meantime, I wanna thank Helix for sponsoring this video. As you guys know, I've had my Helix mattress for a few months now, and I have honestly been feeling so well rested. Sleep is so important to me and for everybody, but I always feel like I made such a big mistake when I was trying to shop for the right mattress. Kevin and I are both drawn to those super squishy mattresses that you can get lost in that are so comfortable. I love laying on them, but I always felt like I was getting the worst night's sleep somehow. I think with the lack of support and structure in the mattresses, I was just sinking in and was not supporting my back properly because I was always just waking up with so much back pain. That has totally changed in Cigar Helix. It is a hybrid mattress, meaning it has springs and foam, making it the best of both worlds, and it was custom selected for us. And Archie has been loving it too. Everybody's different, so Helix made a sleep quiz that matches your body type and preferences to a mattress that is perfect for you. They asked me things like what mattress firmness we prefer, what position we typically sleep in, and if we wake up in any pain. Then they make recommendations based on our answers. Based on our results, Helix recommended their Midnight Luxe. I find it the perfect balance of squishy and supportive. They deliver the mattresses rolled up in a box right to your door for free. It was super easy to set up. We just cut the plastic seal and watch the mattress poof up. That made it so much easier to get upstairs compared to lugging a full-size mattress around tight corners. Helix offers a 100-night sleep trial, so you get over 3 months to try it out and make sure if it's a good fit. If not, they will pick it up for you and give you a full refund. But they chose right for us because this mattress has been the perfect combination of comfort and support, making for a peaceful night's sleep. Visit the link down below or go to helixsleep.com/theicingArtist for up to $200 off your mattress and 2 free pillows.
Okay, you can come in now.
What kind of monstrosity did they get?
Recycling day, and I don't have a lot of boxes. What do you want from me? I think this one is $4.35.
$4.35 from the professional bakery.
Yes.
This one didn't tell us to put it in the fridge, so there shouldn't be any structural issues if there was no fridge thing. You're making faces again! Oh. Oh, wow, they had a hard time with their burgers. Like the drink is the same, the fries the same. I don't know what kind of fat French freaking me just for 1 second. Why is it so fat? It's so poofy.
This one also was not like this when I picked it up or when I got it home. This obviously happened overnight sometime.
So this one doesn't have the seeping filling, but it still fell over. What we've noticed from ordering cakes from bakeries is a lot of them don't know how to structure cakes. We are picking cakes specifically knowing that there are a lot of things that could go wrong and a lot of details and skills that we're looking for them. And if you're ordering a $400 cake from a bakery, this is $465. Sorry, $435, more than the average wedding cake price. The next day, there's zero reason why it should fall over like that. The other one, I was chalking that up as maybe we were supposed to put that in the fridge. But this one, you can't say the same problem. The other one, that like obviously the filling was seeping, obviously there were some issues. I don't think that, especially looking at this, I do not think it was only a filling issue. I think that it still would have fallen over. This one is even angled. The ice looks really cool.
So they said they use rock candy for their ice.
Rock candy. Look at these creative people who don't know how to structure cakes. No offense. This isn't the first time that we've had a cake fallen over. We actually had our Halloween cake fall over and our Baby Yoda cake. The hands of it fell off on the really expensive one. And on the 1-star one, the whole thing, like I think the face fell off. So we've actually had 3 cakes so far before these ones that had collapsed. There's no reason why a cake the next day should fall over like this. Absolutely no reason. With that being said, they did do a lot of things that are really good and a lot of things that are really questionable. I think it's interesting the comparison between the two because I feel like the at-home baker actually did a better job with a lot of things than this one. So I don't like the height of the glass on this one as much, but I do think I prefer the ice. And they actually used an actual straw, but the height of the straw is about the same height as the cake is. So that's a little off. This one just cut out the square. They didn't wrap the whole thing in owl image. That is a win for them. However, their fondant work is far worse. The bubbles, can you see all of, okay, you can see it's coming through.
And there's like some weird staining on it too.
And it is sinking down and I can see the structure here poking up. This one, it had one dowel going through the center, which obviously wasn't enough. I don't see, I'm trying to poke here without cutting it. I don't see any other structure. Like there's no cake board in there. It wasn't tiered. Things that, and then the fries, just the container, that looks funky.
It looks like it's an inflatable container.
It looks like it's an inflated, yes, like one of those like pool toys or something, but fries. That's exactly what it is. I did like how the other person did a couple more scattered fries as if they'd like fallen out compared to this one. They didn't do any tomatoes. Look at the little tomatoes. And it's not just one little red slice. They've got like some texture on top of it, like it's 2 layers. That's really interesting. The lettuce isn't as good because it doesn't have that same look, but it is still ruffled, which looks good. The burger patties are one solid color and aren't dusted. And the bun on top, they should have dusted or airbrushed. They obviously tried to paint with food coloring, with like ivory food coloring on ivory fondant, and it just looks speckly. And then the seeds on the bun are covering the whole bun. It just looks too uniform and fake. Things that I love about it, like the burger size is huge. Like I think there's a lot more cake here. I feel like the burger is humongous. I love the tomatoes. I love the texture there. I love the ice. I think the ice is really cool. I love that they actually bake sugar cookies. That's a whole other recipe and a whole other time rather than just like rolling out some fondant and chucking it up. You have to make sugar cookie dough and then cut out all the sugar cookies and bake them and then dust them all to color them and put them in. That would have been a whole extra step. I think that's really cool. And I think they did a better job just with the logo just on the glass. Let's get them side by side so I can compare the pros and cons of them. And then I get to taste them. This one for sure has a front of the cake. Like this to me looks like the front where you can kind of see the logo. This one I'm trying to turn it to what would be the front. And it's hard because the fries, all you're seeing is this. But look at the burger size difference. Like this is a lot of cake and you can definitely see the details with the fries versus the fries, like how much better versus how much like poofier it is. Definitely the ice looks better on this one. Oh, it's interesting to see the difference. I think this one put so much more time and effort into it compared to this one. This person did give me more cake and they did do the sugar cookies, so it's kind of potatoes on it. It's unfortunate that both of the cakes fell over. This one definitely is still standing up, just seeping, which maybe that is the fridge thing, whereas this one's completely collapsed. All right, let's cut into these and see how they structure them. I'm gonna start with this one and start with a cup. Cut straight down, so there's obviously no cake plate in there. And the one cake slice, oh, that looks soggy and slimy. Ooh. Yeah, I've done strawberry shortcake and my strawberries never look like that the next day. That's like brown and slimy. I'm just gonna maybe chop off the end of that. Oh, it's Rice Krispies. Oh, that's very clever. It kind of tastes like, smells like bad strawberries.
Not good.
You know those really cheap tarts that have the fruit on it, that have like the jelly over top of it, and they taste like strawberries, but they taste like really like off strawberries? It tastes like that. There's no way that they filled this cake and made it yesterday. There's no chance, not with strawberries like that. Like this is a couple days of it sitting. Has icing on, but look the color of that.
Ooh,
yeah, that is not a fresh strawberry. Aside from the strawberries, I'm gonna take some with no strawberry. Cake is really good. The icing is really good, nice and fluffy. I find the cake a little bit sweet, honestly. But it's really flavorful. Like I feel like It's not too dry. Let's try doing this one. Oh, this one has a structure. This one's tiered. I've kind of cut down to a cake board. Yeah, but it's still leaning. So I've got a little cake board here. There's no structure underneath the cake board. It's just a cake board. I hate like ruining the cake. Not that it's not already ruined, but this is like slumping. So I'm curious. So they have a cake board in there structuring it. Nothing. Oh, is that something down there? No, there's another cake board. Oh, come on. That's not how you tier a cake. There's another cake board here, but there's no structure. So you've got cake, cake board, cake, cake board, cake. So there's two cake boards within this cake, but there's nothing holding up the structure of that. A little bit of that. I asked for their most popular cake flavor and it looks like it's just vanilla, which I was hoping, like, when you ask for your most popular cake flavor, like I wanna be wow, like give me like something fun. It tastes good, but it tastes exactly like cake mix. It's a good cake, boxed cake mix, it tastes good, but it tastes like boxed cake mix. It doesn't taste like a gourmet from scratch cake. This cake definitely tastes a lot better, minus the bad strawberries. I'm nervous about this. I don't know what this is. It looks like thick and dense and sticky.
What is it?
Oh no. It kind of tastes like cake pop dough, like they just mushed cake into a patty. It was just like sweet, but like the texture was very off-putting because it wasn't even like cake pop dough because it had this sliminess to it. The vanilla cake isn't bad, and then the icing is like pure sugar, like royal icing, just pure sugar, no flavor. Like it doesn't even taste like vanilla, it just tastes like pure sugar. That's so interesting. I think it's interesting that the at-home baker actually had a better tasting cake and overall did a better job, and the cake was cheaper. That's really interesting to me. Still had some issues, but I'm not gonna, like, it could have been us. But the bad strawberries is like, this one, whoo, with this, I don't know what was happening here with the person who was like, you need to structure that. And the person's like, okay, and put a couple cake boards in there. That's not how you structure it. That's really interesting. I definitely, if I was gonna pick one over the other, I would pick this one. But let me know down below which one you think did a better job, if you think either of them were worth it for the price. And if there's any other cakes that you guys want me to order from bakeries, I will do that. Put it down below. And thank you so much to Helix for sponsoring this video and making it possible for us to order all these cakes. Check out the link down below or go to helixsleep.com/theicingartist for up to $200 off your mattress and 2 free pillows. And I will see you guys again next time. Mwah!